Hey, 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 we're the Buccaneers. Ho, 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 we're the Buccaneers. Offense, defense. Now we're here to say, make the walk the plank, throw them in Tampa Bay. Bay, 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 Bay,
Tampa, hey, get Tampa, hey, I say Tampa, hey, get Tampa, hey, we the Bucs. You know they brought the crew, so we gotta turn them up. No matter if we run, blow, the offense on the roll, and the defense can't stop, and they screaming, let's go. Get it, got it, he gone. That boy took that thing down to the end zone. And the only thing on my mind is just bucking your time, and I'ma ride. Let's go Tampa, hey, get Tampa, hey, I say Tampa, hey, get Tampa, hey. Not fire the cannons, I wanna hear them go. The other team better hurry up and lead them. Fly right past them, let them running like. Put a big hit on them, make the crowd go. Now raise the flags, cause I wanna see them. Gotta make sure the other team fans see it. And the only thing on my mind is just bucking your time, and I'ma ride. Now let's go Tampa, hey, get Tampa, hey, I say Tampa, hey, get Tampa, hey.
What is going on, Buccaneer fans? Daniel, what a game.
What a game, man. That was a game that on the broadcast, I was thinking like, okay, maybe it's time to put Teddy Bridgewater in the game. Maybe it's time to take Baker Mayfield out. But then the Jets, Tyrod Taylor is able to pick apart this defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're playing a little bit too soft, in my opinion. And the Jets were able to come back in this game. And then you had to have Baker Mayfield go down the field again for a third week in a row. And he set this team up for victory, man. What a game. How do you feel about this game, man?
Oh, man. So I actually want to apologize to Buccaneer Nation. I'm sorry. I actually thought I jinxed us for a second. So I actually put out a tweet. We were driving down the field. The game was pretty much over. And I said, unless the Buccaneers miss this field goal, it's going to be 29-20. The game's over. And all of a sudden, I'm pretty confident. I'm like, the game's over, you know. And then I'm washing the dishes. I made some popcorn. I'm washing the popcorn bowl. And all of a sudden, I hear, the field goal's blocked. And I look back. I'm like, no. And then long and behold, the Jets run it back for a touchdown. But I wasn't fazed by that at all because I knew Baker had the poise to drive this team down the field. Again, Daniel, we've talked about this and we keep talking about it. This is what Super Bowl championship teams are made out of. I'm not saying that the Buccaneers are there yet. But what I am saying is that if they can continue, look at the situation they put themselves in, and they were able to get out of it. I mean, there's a lot to dissect here with this game. There is a lot of good, there's a lot of bad, and there's a lot of ugly. So let's just get right into it. What was your first impressions of the first half of the game, man? I mean, I know we're kind of going to go all over the place here because it was such a weird game. I predicted the score to be 30-17. It was looking that way for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah. So in the first half, the laundry was all over the field. The penalties almost every single play. And, you know, you thought that is this going to be the highest penalized game of all time at that rate, you know? You had the holding by Ryan Miller. You had the holding by Elijah Klein when he was coming around and pull blocking, holding on Luke Haggard. So just so many holding penalties, and that negated so much success that they were going to have on offense because penalties are drive killers, and that's undisciplined football. And again, you know, we know all the injuries this team has on the offensive line, but you know, you learn this pretty early on if you're an offensive lineman when you're in high school and college and definitely in the NFL. You can't hold guys. If you hold guys, you're done. They're going to call that every single time. So yeah, just the penalties for me, and it was the defense played, I think, for the most part well in the first half. They had the big 4-for-1 stop with Hassan Reddick stopping that run play.
That was a huge
play. The
play.
pick six later on in the game also with Jamel Dean. That was a huge play to see him get a really positive play, but. You know, defense for the most part got stops, but the offense was hurting this team, you know, overall. And, special teams, Chase McLaughlin, he was able to make his kicks, and we saw the final one too. But, yeah, it was the penalties first half that were insane to me.
14 penalties
Yeah.
for 124 yards.
Dude.
That's 2 drives, man. You're taking off 2 drives off the board. But I know a lot of people are gonna freak out about that, the Monday morning freakouts, I like to call them. But to sit here and say, hey, they still, because if I'm looking at the statistics right now, 14 penalties for 124 yards. That looks like to me, if I'm not looking at the score, it looks like to me that team lost the ball game. You know, the Jets with 7 penalties for 81 yards. Again, on the pregame show, I talked about this. I said 2 things that the Buccaneers really need to improve on: special teams. I hate sounding like a broken record, but this is going to make or break a team. You can't miss field goals, and you certainly can't get them blocked. That scared the hell out of me, because, like I said, with the tweet and what I said, I'm like, why did see? And something told me, don't tweet that, don't tweet that. I was getting superstitious. Don't tweet that. And I jinxed us. And Bucs Nation, I will never ever do that again. A lot of things I took away from this game. Levante David did not have the greatest game. Missing a lot of tackles. A couple of times he could have wrapped up Tyrod Taylor. What's going on there with Levante David? What do you think? You think Father Time has caught up to him, or
Father Time? Unfortunately, we'll see. We're 3 weeks into the year, but so far, yeah, Father Time is catching up to Levante David, and he's 36 years old, and he's out there playing against 21, 23-year-old guys. He's doing what he can out there, but at some point he catches up to everybody. Even caught up to all the issues Tom Brady had his final year, but even catches up to a guy like Tom Brady. And it's a little bit different because he had a lot of personal stuff going on. But yeah, I think he's taken a step backwards, and we had the scare where he went down, and we didn't know what was going on with Levante.
I was freaking out, man. I was getting pissed because we lost Mike.
Out too. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into this injury stuff, man. So far, we got Mike Evans hurt. We had Levante David get hurt. What this is telling me is that it's not a training thing. It's because Mike has taken care of himself throughout the years. Levante David doesn't look a day over 26 years old. I just think it was the heat. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it's first time being in Tampa. The team, it's the heat. We saw Mike
real quick. They showed it 130 degrees out there on the field. That will get to any. Even they practice every single day in this heat. That gets to anybody. It's extremely hot out there. 130. The humidity was at 62%. It's hot. It's humid. If you didn't hydrate yourself correctly, and these guys are hitting other guys, and those cramp ups happen. Mike Evans down. It looks like a hamstring injury. We talked about every year he goes down with a hamstring. How long is he going to be out now? So that's a question mark right there.
Well, the great. How about Emeka Egbuka, our guy, man? I mean, holy crap! Some of the catches he was making, unbelievable. He's a number one. He's a number one. And I'm telling you right now, he's a number one anywhere. This kid is phenomenal. He kept us in the ball game, and I don't care what anybody says. Lazard's catch in the end zone, if they called that a touchdown, Emeka Egbuka's catch there at the final minute there of the game, that was a catch.
That was a good concentration. It bobbled up, so it hit him, bobbled up. He stayed concentrated with the defender's hand kind of like this, and you have the sun glaring too in this Tampa heat, and he's able to concentrate, grabbing the ball, have possession. But then the feet issue, did he have his feet inbounds?
Right.
They didn't decide to challenge it. Also, Todd Bowles can't do anything. It's inside 2 minutes. You can't challenge that play. So you're relying on the referees to challenge the play. They decided not to. I know Emeka Egbuka was like, what? Why are we not going to challenge it? Todd Bowles was angry. You could see it on the
yeah.
But yeah, man, he had a huge day. We had 6 receptions on 8 targets, 85 yards, man. No touchdowns. This was the first game in his NFL career with no touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns in the first game, 1 touchdown last game. But, he has a very bright future.
Yeah, I was so impressed with what he did on the field. Again, he's good. It makes me happy to see that. Obviously, we know the situation with Mike. We don't have much time left with Mike. We know a couple more years, 3 more years tops. It's nice to see a kid
I don't even think 3 more years. I think, unfortunately, next year might be his last year. And I think he said it before. I think I don't remember the exact quote, but he doesn't want people to be surprised if this is his final year. Next year if he gets it, it'd be 13 straight 1K yard seasons, and I think he's done. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just think
No, you're good.
it's a
No,
lot closer to the end than it is to the beginning.
no,
Unfortunately, for my guys.
you're spitting the facts, man. That's a hard reality that people are gonna have to grasp with. I remember Derek Brooks leaving the Buccaneers, and that was tough. But we had Levante David, who he passed the torch to, and we saw what Levante did. Not the best game from Levante, although a bright spot. Savassier Dennis, really good game. We talked about this. We want to see him improved. I was on the pregame show with DJ Up. Shout out to him. We were talking about this. A guy that I'm looking forward to improve was Savassier Dennis. He was in the backfield. He was making plays. I'm happy with the way he played. What about you? What did you see from Savassier?
Yeah, he had the tip pass also from Tyrod Taylor that he knocked down. He had one play where I believe it was Tyler Johnson got the better of him in coverage, but ultimately it wasn't this up and down game they got from him from week number 1, week number 2. Deion Jones, they didn't have to take him out and put Deion Jones in for a few plays. He was in there. I believe the snap count will come out tomorrow, but I believe he played 100% of the snaps. So
Yeah.
they're showing confidence in him that he's getting it back. He's mentally focused. He's not making those mistakes he made in week number 1, week number 2. But yeah, I was looking to him too as being one of those bounce back guys. If you have an up and down in week 1, week 2, we know he's good against coverage, but he hasn't shown it in the first 2 weeks. And then also we know he can get to the quarterback, but he hasn't done that either throughout the first 2 weeks.
Right.
But this was a better showcase, in my opinion, for Savassier Dennis. I think they have. I know a lot of people want to call him a bust, but I think be patient with him. I think they do have a young, constant talent. Yeah,
it's way too early to sit here and say it's about. I mean, look, what an odd week of football too, and we'll get to that on the back end of the show with some of the things. I mean, the Browns. I had some parlays going, and then I stopped. I didn't want to put them in. I was like, you know what? I don't want to gamble. I did one parlay, and my gut instinct told me to take Carolina, and I didn't. I took the Falcons, and if I would have took that, I would have won a nice piece of change. And whatever, I didn't lose anything because I didn't gamble anything. I didn't bet anything, and I kind of went against my. I should have never went against my gut, man, because like I said, it's heartbreaking to even look at it. The parlay that I put together, I would have hit on every single thing. It's just I was unsure about picking the Carolina Panthers, but we'll get to that stuff. We'll do a quick thing of the state of the South on the back end of the show. Baker Mayfield is not slowing down. It was a little scary with the hand early on, but I mean, I'm sick and tired of calling him a dog. He's not a dog anymore. He's like, I don't know. He's Rambo. The dude is Rambo.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't stop. He keeps coming at you. Fantastic play by Baker. He did let one sail away to Tej Johnson. And that would have broken the game. I mean, that would have been huge to connect with him.
He overthrew him a little bit. Yeah, and that would have been a touchdown, no doubt, right there, because he has so much speed. But yeah,
Bucky Irvin also had a pretty decent game. I want to see more out of Bucky. I want to start seeing 100-yard games out of Bucky. And I understand the offensive line is a little depleted. I shouldn't say little, it's depleted a lot. I'm just trying to stay positive, man. That's all. What'd you take away from the offensive line this game?
Besides the penalties, they kept Baker Mayfield upright for the most part, only allowed 1 sack and loss of 8 yards there. In pass protection, for the most part, they did good, but the run blocking, they didn't do too good there. Buck Irving had 25 carries, 66 yards, 2.6 yards per carry. That's not good. It was kind of like what they did in week number 1, where they were good in pass blocking, their pass blocking duties, but they didn't do good in their run blocking duties. It was kind of similar to that game. They held Baker Mayfield upright, and sometimes also Baker Mayfield has made plays with his feet. We've seen that over the past few weeks. He's now, I think you can consider him a dual threat quarterback. He's making plays in the air with his arm. He's making plays on the ground with his legs. I think he's a hard guy to get down to. And when the Buccaneers, when they had the block field goal, when Will McDonald jumped over the protection for the Buccaneers, and he was able to block the Chase McLaughlin kick. When Baker Mayfield got the ball back, he's getting around I think a little bit less than 2 minutes, like a minute and 54, a minute somewhere around there. But I didn't feel nervous about having Baker Mayfield go down the field because we've seen it already in week number 1. We've seen it in week number 2. I think if there's any quarterback that you want to have the ball with 2 minutes left on the field and he has to go down there and march on the field and find a way to get you to score, I trust Baker Mayfield probably more than anybody in the NFL right now. And he had the MVP, conversations on a national stage. I think this is another thing. Still, he has 6 touchdowns now, 0 interceptions, and none of his throws today looked like they would have been turned over. Like he had a clean game overall with a makeshift offensive line, even with Mike Evans going down later on in the game, and now his number one wide receiver is Emeka Buka. He played a very good game, man, and I like what I see out of Baker. I've always liked Baker since the first game in Minnesota, where he took the guy down and he said, "Look, get in the weight room or get your weight up a little bit.
Get your weight up, little man. Get your weight up, little boy." Yeah.
Yeah, ever since then, man, he's been the guy. And
same.
And anytime the Buccaneers get in a situation like they did today, and throughout the first 2 weeks, where there's 2 minutes left, you need your quarterback to go down the field and march down there and score for you. I trust Baker Mayfield, man. I don't think there's anybody else I would trust right now more than him.
Yeah, I keep having this argument with everybody. If there's a minute left in the game and you had to ask me what quarterback do I want driving my team down the field, it's Baker Mayfield's, because the dude is not going to quit. Not saying that these other guys would quit. I mean, the Bills and the Eagles, like I get it. Like those guys, like they're playing on a whole nother level, but you got to put the Buccaneers and you got to put Baker Mayfield right up there with those guys. You have to. I mean, look, this is 3 weeks in a row now. And I get it. It's the Falcons. I mean, I don't know if the verdict's out on the Falcons yet. I'm not saying that they're a bad team. Every team has a bad game. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Last year, we had our bad game against the Broncos. And that was a divisional game. I mean, the Panthers, from what I understand, they blew the doors off the Falcons. It was good to see that. I'm not going to lie. Love to see that. But, again, you have to stop putting respect on Baker Mayfield's name, and you have to take him serious as an MVP candidate because, like I said, I don't know many Buccaneer teams in the past that would have came back like that. Usually when they block a field goal, even your limited history of being a Bucs fan, but I've seen a lot of Buccaneer games in the past, man. That was it. That's game. Like they weren't coming back from that. But this Buccaneer team is not like that. I'm telling you, there's something special about this Tampa Bay Buccaneer football team. And Baker Mayfield he does not want to die. He's not going to die. Like he's putting 150% on that field every drive. They do start off slow. That is a concern for me. That's it. Eventually, that's going to catch up to them. They have to work on that. You have to score, and you have to score fast. Same thing with the defense. The defense has to make a stop. Speaking of the defense, I said in the pregame, one of these defensive backs has to come up big, and I think it's going to be either Zion McCollum or Jamel Dean's going to get an interception. Jamel Dean gets a pick 6. It's funny because I saw something in a chat. I was AJ Turnup. Shout out to him. He said, maybe he should take another pay cut, and he'll play elite. So, I mean, shout out to him, man. It was funny. He's a character. He says some funny stuff. But I mean, holy crap, coming alive. And the past couple of weeks, Jamel Dean has really played to his potential. I mean, I tweeted it out earlier. Somebody's going to pay him the bag. Somebody's going to give him a bag. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's going to be here in Tampa because he gets a little comfortable. But I mean, playing for less and you're doing more. What was your takeaway seeing Jamel Dean pick that off?
Yeah, finally made a positive play. We've been talking about Benjamin Morrison, being able to compete. And Benjamin Morrison also, the rookie DBs.
Made a good play.
Parrish, Benjamin Morrison, there's a little bit off topic. They had a good game.
They had a fantastic game.
2 blitzes by Jacob Parrish that almost got to Tyrod Taylor right there on the blitz by Jacob Parrish. That was a play where also Tyrod Taylor had to get the ball out of his hands quickly. And that was the pick 6 to Jamel Dean. So if Jacob Parrish doesn't get that pressure there, Jamel Dean's not in position to get that interception. So really good, coverage works in hand with, the pressure being put on the quarterback. But Jamel Dean, man, I'm not one that's high on Jamel Dean, but when he does good, you got to give him his credit. And today he did do good. And that play he was going up against Garrett Wilson. He read what was going on. He knew exactly what was going on. He just picks it off, gets the interception. There was also the play where they called PI or they didn't call PI.
Yeah.
Did they actually call it or not? But he would have had the interception there too. It was low, so they didn't show the replay, like did it hit the ground? But he possibly could have had 2 interceptions in that game. And he's a guy who, again, he took a pay cut, $8 million pay cut because he said he didn't want to go learn a new team's defense and go learn a new city like his rookie year and all that. So will he go out there and maybe he gets $16, $18 million because somebody's going to pay him? Look at Carlton Davis in New England. Somebody paid him $18 million a year, more than Zion McCollum. Does he go out there and make more money, which would make more sense for him financially? or does he decide to stay here in Tampa? He knows Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles, you know, he gives him a lot of crap, but he loves him, man. He loves Jamel Dean. He always has him in the film room and they're breaking down
Yeah,
stuff.
I remember his rookie year. Him and Carlton Davis. This is when Carlton Davis wore 33. Like we're going like rookie years. Jamel Dean had such a bad game that the following day they got the doors blown off of them. I forgot who it was against. That's how bad. Yeah, see how I put those in the don't remember this.
I remember
anymore?
there was a game that both of them got burned. Carlton Davis
Bad.
and Jamel Dean. They both have horrible games. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I think it was more Jamel Dean that game. Yeah, because Todd Bowles sat him down, made him watch film throughout the whole week, just nonstop. And Jamel Dean, I think, came back. I think he had an interception or 2 picks the following game, and he had a huge bounce back game. Let's go to the comments here real quick. Christopher Cole, shout out to him. Dean should have had 2 picks. Yeah, that's exactly what Daniel just said. Yeah, I agree. I really like what I see out of Dean, but Jacob Parrish, man, he can hit. Like in the backfield, tackles for losses. Like this is what I'm talking about. And then coming over down on the blitz, kind of reminded me paying homage to guys like Rondé Barber, who used to come off the edge on a blitz. I really love what I see out of them, and it's crazy because last year, for those of you who are watching the show, I kept on saying the offense is going to carry this defense because I'm not a fan of the defense. I think the defense is in shambles right now. It's crazy. And then I predicted early on in the season, I said the defense is really going to carry this Bucs team. And I've kind of been a little bit wrong about that thus far. I mean, this wasn't the prettiest win, but I feel like the defense is really like coming alive. Like it's a shame because we don't have a 100% healthy team. Imagine what this team would look like if Baker Mayfield. I mean, let's take a look at his statistics here real quickly. Baker Mayfield, 19 for 29, 233 yards with a touchdown. Imagine Jalen McMillan out there, a healthy Mike Evans, a healthy Chris Godwin, and what Emeka Egbuka can do. We have yet to see what this offense can do. We really have. This is, again, we're playing with a rookie wide receiver. We don't know what's going on with Mike. I mean, if it's a hamstring, it's probably going to be a week or 2. Let's face the facts. I mean, we don't have the exact answers. I'm not seeing anything on Mike Evans right now. Any news?
Yeah, last year he went out. I believe it was week 7 in the Baltimore Ravens game, same game that Chris Godwin went down, and he had the hamstring injury. And I think he came back for, can't remember if it was week 10 or 11. I can't remember, but it took him 3-4 weeks to come back.
I think he was out 2 weeks or 3 weeks tops. He was supposed to be a month, but then he came back 3 weeks. I think it was like, because of the bye week. That's what it was. He had the bye week. That's why I'm getting a little confused. But I mean, again, this team is not 100% healthy. Imagine what this team can look like. I mean, I don't know. It's tough because next week we have the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I thought they couldn't really score points, and then obviously today in a shootout with the Rams. I don't know if you've seen it. How ironic was it that we had our blocked field goal, and moments later the Eagles blocked the field goal for the Rams. The Rams were about to win the game, and they returned it.
Yeah. We're going to see the Eagles next week. That's going to be a wild game. That's going to be a 2-3-0 teams. This is the first time the Buccaneers go 3-0 since 2005. It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
2-3-0 teams. It's going to be, one of them is going to leave undefeated, and one of them is going to leave with the first loss of the season. But overall, we don't know what's going on with Mike Evans. I think he's going to be probably out for this game. So your number 1 wide receiver is going to be Emeka Egbuka. Even if Chris Godwin comes back, listen, he's not in football shape. He's probably going to be, just distracting, taking coverage, dictating coverage a little bit away from Emeka Egbuka. But Emeka Egbuka has to be the superstar in this game coming up against the Philadelphia Eagles. He's going to be the one who's going to get the majority of the targets, most likely. He has to step up. Also, There's been nothing, absolutely zero done by the tight ends. We haven't seen them involved in any capacity for the most part. Kadon had a beautiful block. That big run in the final 2 minutes by Baker Mayfield, it was set up by Kadon. He came across. He was blocking the defender. He was able to run 20, 25 yards at the field. It was an amazing, amazing run. But it's going to come down to Emeka Egbuka in this game. Even if Chris Godwin's in there or not, it's going to come down to Emeka Egbuka being the X factor in that game on offense. And then it's going to come down to, I believe, the tight ends. They got to get involved. I want to see Kadon get what happened last year when Chris Godwin Jr. and Mike Evans went down. Who stepped up? It was Kadon. He stepped up. Now, he has issues with drops at times, but for the most part, he is consistent. Everybody has issues with drops because Mike Evans had 2 drops today. So that's not I always hear that excuse with Kadon, but for the most part, he is a dependable pass catcher, a natural pass catcher. He doesn't even go out there with gloves. He goes out there with his bare hands, catching those receptions. But yeah, man, we have the injury to Mike Evans, and we don't know what's going on with him, and we don't know if Chris Godwin Jr. is going to be back. But even if he comes back, he's probably going to be limited. And he's probably just moving around the coverage. So I think they gave him limited snaps, but moving around the coverage to set up Emeka Buka catching passes or Sterling Shepard as well. I don't think he's going to do much in his first game back. I think it's going to be a ramp up slowly. Like he might come back this week, but by the third game he's in, there we go. We get regular Chris Godwin back. But if you have him in fantasy, for example, I wouldn't start him in fantasy.
No.
You wait a little bit, wait for him to get back to the normal Chris Godwin that we expect. But yeah, we got some interesting football coming up here with the Eagles next week, man.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game. But although, I mean, I know a lot of people like, oh, well, Todd Bowles, he owns the Eagles. Listen, like I said earlier, the all-time record between the Buccaneers and the Jets, the Buccaneers were on the losing side of things. They've only won out of 13 meetings. It was the Jets record against us was 10-3. So a lot of that stuff is meaningless to me. Going into that game, and we'll talk about that later on in the week. I don't want to ruin it. You know what I'm saying? It's just let's enjoy this victory. But one guy that really did step up, and this is the good. It's actually the great, because he had a couple of drops too. Like you just said, everybody had a couple of drops this game. Nobody's perfect. Sterling Shepard, man, really came out. 4 catches, 80 yards.
Yeah.
Longest was for 24 yards. Really love seeing Sterling Shepard getting involved, because I'll tell you one thing. If we didn't have Sterling Shepard, where would this Buccaneers offense be? It's the little performances like that nobody's really going to talk about, because obviously the focal point is Emeka Buka. But, Sterling Shepard made some really good catches, some clutch catches. I'm happy to see him getting more involved. Ryan Miller he got caught for a penalty. I mean, he got called for a penalty, right?
Holding penalty, very early on the game, I believe, first or second drive. Yeah, holding.
Yeah, I want to see more out of him. I really do. Again, it's crazy because I called it. What did I say in the preseason? I said, don't get your hopes up in these guys, because we always see those preseason darlings that look great, fantastic, So, I mean, I know he had a touchdown against the Atlanta Falcons week 1. I just want to see him get more involved. But, I mean, again, to what you just said, where's the tight ends? I want to see Cade catching some balls, man. I want to see, Payne Durham and Devin Culp. Like, I'd like to see them get the tight ends more involved. I get what Grizzard is doing about, really trying to force the ball to Emeka and really trying to run the football. I get it, but I'd like to see these tight ends make the opposing defenses respect the tight ends, because I don't know, maybe he has something up his sleeve for next week against the Eagles. Maybe the Eagles, they're going to look at film and, hey, Cade is not really getting the ball. Let's really focus on Emeka and stuff. Maybe Cade has a big game. Who knows? But that, again, that's for another time. Let's talk about Levante David, because that's bothering me a little bit. I don't like to see him play like that. Again, hopefully this was just because of the heat. You went and played in 2 domes with the Texans, and the Atlanta Falcons. That's climate controlled. Maybe because of the heat, people are cramping up. I don't know, but usually you got to stay hydrated. What's your take from Levante David? Do you think we should be concerned? Are you concerned? Because for me, I'm not concerned unless this becomes, a habit. If I start seeing Levante, because he should have had, I believe, 2 sacks, right? He was in the backfield a couple of times. He should have had Tyrod Taylor wrapped up. And not to get off topic, but I still can't believe after all these years with Tyrod playing, they really were questioning about how to pronounce his name. It's been Tyrod. And they were saying that people were calling him a different name. I don't know. I've never heard that before.
He's if he's not going to correct you, Baker Mayfield says, but it's Tyrod, not Tyrod.
Tyrod. Yeah.
Tyrod.
I mean, about him though, I think he played a pretty decent game. But I will say this: outside of Levante David not having an off game, actually, I'm not going to cut you off there. What was your take on him? Are you concerned with Levante?
He had the beautiful sack last week. Remember that one where he was faking cover. He was going to blitz in, and he goes out and then comes back in. Beautiful.
That was
sack there.
beautiful
this week as well, back-to-back sacks. But I think there's no I don't like overreacting or anything. I think the realistic thing is that he has taken a step backwards. He is, 36 years old. He's taken that
Yes.
step backwards. It's like in Madden, when your players, when you do franchise, your players start to get older. Their
Regression.
stats start to dip down a little bit. So maybe he was like an 89 before, but maybe you have an 82 overall Levante David now. It's still Levante David, but he's a step slower. He still has the same brain. He still knows, he's still processing things going on, but he's just not as fast as he was before. And I think that's going to be something that hurts him. I think this is his final year in Tampa or in the NFL in general, but I hope for him that it ends very positively. I hope for him because he's stuck through since 2011, 2012, all the losing seasons here in Tampa. He won in 2020, but to cap off his career, I would like to see him get one more Super Bowl. Just
Oh, yeah.
and I think that will solidify his spot in the Hall of Fame. I think everybody in Tampa knows he's a Hall of Fame linebacker, but on national stage, Bobby Wagner gets much more love and respect throughout his entire career than Levante David has. But who is actually the better linebacker in my opinion? They're both really good, but Levante David. And I think Bobby Wagner has the edge. He has the popularity. He's going to be the one definitely in the Hall of Fame. But I think you can't overlook Levante David, what he's done, just because Tampa's a smaller market, just because Tampa lost for many years.
Right.
And I think if the Buccaneers are able to win the Super Bowl this year, I think that's just the solidifying point. He will be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think that's fair. Also, Pro Bowls, I think he has like 1 or 2 Pro Bowls. It's a popularity contest,
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, it's such a popularity contest. Yeah.
They use
Unfortunately,
that when they're talking about who should be in the Hall of Fame or not. It's all unfortunate stuff, but he's being realistic. He has so far. He could change it. He could turn it around, but he has taken a step backwards. And this is not the normal Levante David we're used to seeing. This is a slower, a father time has caught up Levante David. And I'm losing my voice. I've been talking way too much today.
No, you're good, man. Hey, but you know what? I mean, he had 7 solo tackles. He had a sack, a tackle for loss. It's just what concerns me is I'm not used to seeing Levante miss tackles like that. So that's what kind of concerned me. But then, I'm gonna take it with a pinch of salt because again, it's the first home game. It's hot.
Yeah.
What was the heat index on the field? You said it was 130.
That's insane.
So, yeah, so it was hot, and it was a white creamsicle game. I expected the worst. Once the field goal got blocked, I said it right away. I slammed the dish, and I was like, I don't want to see these jerseys anymore. I don't want none of them no more. Let's come on, bring back the pewter ones. I'm done. But then they pulled out the victory. But Zion McCollum, 9 tackles. He is really, really. I'm really impressed with him. He is shutting receivers down, and it's going under the radar. Nobody's really talking about it. I mean, obviously he got the contract extension. He got a little bit of a higher number there, but wow, McCollum, Jacob Parrish, Benjamin Morrison, and Jamel Dean, and one guy that we have yet to talk about, and I want to see everybody talk about this gentleman in the comment section. How about Antoine Winfield Jr.? He was all over the place, coming up on blitzes, just nonstop. He had a sack.
He had the forced fumble. That was him put around.
Vita picked up.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor, he was gonna pass it. He knocks it out of his hands. Vita Vea is just there, the perfect spot. He gets that fumble recovery. Him, Tyke Smith. You talked about the rookie Jacob Parrish. He looked phenomenal. Also, Benjamin Morrison. I think it was his first rep because they're giving him a little bit of reps. He's coming back now, a little bit of reps on defense, and his first rep in the game, he gets a tackle for loss, a big tackle for loss. These are this backfield for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Man, they're looking good. And Tyke Smith, he leads the team, or at least coming into week number 2. I got to get the update numbers here. He led the team in sacks. I'm sorry, in tackles. He had the sack last week where he was rushing in off the right side. He pushes over. He just gets the running back off, and he gets to the quarterback, C.J. Stroud. Man. This is a scary secondary that's developing here in Tampa. And these are young guys, too, for the most part.
Yeah. And I'm very excited again. And I kept on emphasizing this throughout the game. I was tweeting away. I promise you guys, my tweets are gonna get better and better. So I just started doing the X or Twitter or whatever thing, and I was doing the Instagram stuff. But I mean, the Instagram, it feels like it delays a lot of of your posts and stuff like that. And So with X, I've never been like a fan, but now I've really started. I know how to use it better now. So like I promise you guys, like my tweets are gonna get a lot better throughout the game. They're gonna be interesting. Wait until the Buccaneers start losing a game. You'll see the angry tweets. I promise you. But overall, the defense is fantastic. I love the way the defense played. I mean, I get the score was 29-26. But that's not an indication of what that, I mean, 29-27, excuse me. That's not really an indication of that Buccaneer ball club. That was just mental errors. I don't even think the Jets should have put up as many points as they did. They was just mental errors. And again, the penalties, 14 penalties. They gotta clean that up, Daniel. They have to clean that up. It's so bad. It's just so bad. But the thing that made me a little bit nervous, 21 points that the Jets scored in the fourth quarter. Can't do that. And now that you got the Philadelphia Eagles coming in here, man, you can't give up 21 points in a quarter against the Eagles. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that think that the Eagles can't score points, myself included. But that's going to be a tough game, man. That's going to be a really tough game. Is there anything else that you really took away from this game? Like, I'm kind of disappointed in Rachaad White. I said he was going to be the X factor, so I kind of have egg on my face for that. But I just thought that a guy like Rachaad, this was like the perfect stage for him. This is like the perfect game, considering that the offensive line was depleted. Guy like that can catch balls out of the backfield, no problem. Blitz pickups, no problem. But it was more Bucky of keeping drives alive too, with his receptions in the backfield. Tell us about that. What'd you think about seeing Bucky more than Rachaad?
Well, Rashad is the RB2, so I would expect, Bucky. They oftentimes ride the hot hand, in certain situations. But for a lot of it, I really wanted the Buccaneers to rely heavily on the run game, but Quentin Williams really just stopped all of it. So a lot of times Bucky Irvin would get the handoff, or maybe it's Rachaad White, and they already have 2-3 defenders for the Jets already back there in the backfield stopping it. It comes down to your overall offensive line play really not doing a good job in their run blocking duties. But Quentin Williams was a monster in that game, especially in the first half, just destroying the run attempts by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But you talked about the defense allowing 21 points. They allowed 6 points in the first half. That was good. But 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. That was they let their foot off the gas. You can never do that. This is a 60-minute ball game. They let their foot off the gas. They started playing a little bit soft. They started, getting comfortable. I used that term earlier with Jamel Dean. Once he got paid, he got a bit comfortable. But the defense, they got a bit comfortable, and they were like, they're not going to come back, And they got their foot off the gas. What happened? Tyrod Taylor, the New York Jets, Tanner Enstrom, the offensive coordinator, was able to pick apart this soft zone defense by Todd Bowles, and really, again, 21 unanswered points for them.
Yeah, it's not good.
You got to keep your phone again. This is a 60-minute ball game. And luckily for them, they have, again, like we talked about, Baker Mayfield, who is okay marching down. He doesn't feel that pressure. He can march down that field and score a touchdown for you or get you in field goal range. But, yeah, man, the defense, it really disappointed me. They played good in the first half. Second half, really disappointed me with how soft they were playing. You can't do that. And like you said, if you do that against the Philadelphia Eagles, you're coming out with a loss. You're not going to come out with a win in that situation.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Baker Mayfield, 4 attempts for 44 yards. The most important run was the 33-yard run towards the back end of the game there. Fantastic. Again, I can't say enough about our quarterback, man. I have a Baker Mayfield jersey. I've yet to wear it. I think I'm going to pull it out next week. I have to, because we're going to need it, because the Eagles coming into town. But I can't emphasize it enough. He played fantastic. The interceptions too. I didn't see, again, third week in a row, no interceptions. And that's huge. Yeah. The past 2 weeks, there was a couple of balls that could have been picked off, and that was concerning. We talked about that too. That's very concerning. Didn't really see that this game. And so that's getting better. And again, like you said earlier, you were perfect in the offseason, like you said. In order for this team to be successful, Baker really has to bring down those interceptions, and so far, so good. Because again, those are drive killers, those are game killers. We've seen enough of those. But keeping the play alive with Baker, I don't want to see him run like that anymore, though. Because it's only a matter of time, and I shouldn't say this. I don't want to jinx us, but it's only a matter of time. I'm telling you, before somebody really gives him a crack. That's why we really need Godwin back. We need Jalen McMillan back. Like we need our guys back, man, in the worst way. because I don't want to see Baker running like that. And I can't wait to see Tristan Wirfs come back. Again,
Yeah.
I get it's the Eagles, but if Tristan Wirfs is not 100%, I don't want to see him in there, because what happens is when a guy's not 100%, let's just say he's 60%. I need another week, but I can go. You could really, it happened to Ryan Jensen. You could
Luke, I
really
get
do
last
some,
week.
yeah, you can really do some damage there. I don't want to rush. I mean, I get it that the Eagles, their front four is really good, but you're just gonna have to adapt. You're gonna have to find a way, like you did today. You're just gonna have to find a way to play those guys. Did you see anything that was going on around the NFL? I mean,
Not
wow.
much. I was in the broadcast, the Pewter Game
Yeah.
broadcast there, but I know that Michael Penix Jr., from what the comments were saying, I haven't had time to look at this. He got
Benched.
benched for Kirk Cousins. That is insane. I'm high on Michael Penix because what I saw from the last 3 games. I did a huge deep dive leading to week number 1. He gets the
Yep.
ball so quickly. He's decisive. He's very calculated in his actions. I don't know. I haven't seen the film, so I don't know exactly what happened in that game. But now you have a little bit of a question mark maybe going forward with the Atlanta Falcons. They're 1-2 now. Is Kirk Cousins going to be the quarterback next week? Is it, no matter what? Maybe it's just a 1-game thing, but
Yeah.
benching your young quarterback, that can
It's not
get
good.
I know some guys they would get over, but that benching can really mess up a young quarterback's head because you got to show that you have confidence. If I'm the head coach, man, I keep that guy in the ball game. We're going to lose the game no matter what, but I'm not going to take away his confidence. I have to show him that he's my guy. He's my quarterback. And I'm not going to bench him for anybody, unless there's a situation where we're up 30-0, and there we go. You can bench him if you want to because it's not really a benching situation. You just make sure he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, but it was
we
like
have
the
a young-
second. It was like, I think the second or third quarter they benched him.
Oh,
Or
early.
something. It was
Okay, so
early
now
on in the game. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the exact. I'm trying to find it right here, but I'm looking at his statistics. So he was 18 for 36, 172 yards, 50% completion. Passer rating was 40.5.
2 interceptions, right?
2 interceptions. Yeah.
Okay.
And they just got the doors blown off of him, 30-0 by the Carolina Panthers. So I mean, hey, I'll take it. I love it. I love to see it. And I was last week. I was talking to Ralph of Damn YouTube Sports Talk. Shout out to him. But he wasn't really too big on the Carolina Panthers, and I kept on saying, I wouldn't take the first 2. It's only the first 2 weeks. You guys got the Falcons coming up, and I know a lot of Panther fans were down on that game. Well, I mean, these are division games. That's why when we play the Panthers week 15 and week 17, not taking those games lightly. You can't, because they could possibly have playoff implications too. You know what I'm saying? But to see the Carolina Panthers put up a W, I mean, put up an L on the Falcons, man, that's 2 games that the Falcons have lost in the NFC South. And they're to what a lot of people say our biggest competition, which I don't know. As I'm seeing that, bad teams lose that way. And I can't remember any time that the Buccaneers lost that bad to a division opponent in the past 5 years. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, with the Saints, but the Saints have yet to played. But that's shocking, man. To bench your future quarterback, that's a confidence killer, man. That's a big confidence killer, in my opinion. Kirk Cousins came in 5 completions out of 7 attempts, 29 yards, 71%. I mean, I'm not even gonna read this. It's just garbage numbers. Bijan Robinson, 13 attempts for 72 yards. I think the morale of the team right now is probably down.
Yeah.
It's just, listen, you're going to have games like that. I mean, but that's bad.
They had high hopes going into the season. I remember Raheem Morris and Bijan Robinson. This was a team that, they believed they were going to be able to win the NFC South or really be a contender to win the NFC South. And again, this is a very long season. This is week 3. They went 1-2 now. But yeah, I wouldn't have benched. And I think they're a little bit Raheem Morrison because Raheem Morris, he knows that his seat, his coaching job might not be safe. And he was quick pulling the trigger, for the most part last year with Kirk Cousins. He didn't ride that. I think, Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. He's a starter somewhere in this league.
Yeah.
I know he makes a lot of money, but
I still say he should be in jail for theft.
Yeah, you told me
he
that.
Stole all that money. He should be in jail for theft because he's made more money than Tom Brady and he hasn't won one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey, kudos to him though.
But he's a starting quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
I believe even, he was dealing with some issues last year, but again, if I'm the head coach, I do not bench my young quarterback. I'm keeping him in the game. I'm showing my confidence. Saying, you're my guy. I'm gonna run. I like the captain. You always say the captain goes down with the ship, right? I'm showing I believe in you. You're my guy, right? So I would have benched him, and who knows how that's going to affect him moving forward. But no matter what, this whole chaos in Atlanta, it's good for Buccaneers fans. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, I love it. Buck fans, let us know in the comments, what do you think about the chaos in Atlanta? I love it. It's crazy. I love it though. I love to see it. Jacksonville and the Texans, man. Jacksonville, Liam Cohen pulls it off. I mean, what's going on with the Texans and CJ Stroud? Like it's bad, man. So 2 years ago, this kid came back, beat the Buccaneers, and again, like Marcus Mariota when he was a Titan and Jameis was a Buck, when they went head to head, they wanted to put Marcus Mariota in the Hall of Fame. Same thing with CJ Stroud. He was like the second coming, and CJ Stroud, got to put him in the Hall of Fame. This kid's going to be like, what's going on with CJ Stroud?
With CJ Stroud, I don't believe it's, I like CJ Stroud. I think he's a good quarterback, a top 15 quarterback in this league. But a few years ago in 2023, when they faced the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he had Tank Dell out there, who Tank Dell has, that's one reason real quick. He's been injury prone, but I'm scared of Tez Johnson because he's so light. And Tank Dell is basically that same kind of mold, very light, and he's been injury prone throughout his career. He had last year, I believe, dislocated kneecap, the torn ACL, just really his whole leg messed up, man. Yeah. But he had Tank Dell, he had Nico Collins, he had Noah Brown. He had three guys who were playing extremely well for him, and he had an O-line with Tunsil that was out there blocking pretty well for him. Now he's only down to Nico Collins, and he doesn't have an O-line that's protecting, well for him. So you can't. Tom Brady wouldn't be able to, play too well behind an offensive line.
Yeah.
Protected. So that's, I like C.J. Stroud. I like Michael Penix Jr. I believe they're. Look at Daniel Jones right now in Indianapolis. I don't know. I didn't see the final ending of the Indy game. But they were up the last time I checked, and they might have gone.
Oh, they won.
They won 3-0. Look at that. Yeah. That was a guy who was kicked out of New York, who they didn't have confidence in him. They kicked him out. But this is something you see. It's a pattern around the NFL. Sometimes it's the place. Sometimes it's the scheme. And when they move to a new place, when they find a new environment, when they actually are taken in. When Baker Mayfield came to Tampa, they told him, don't be the next Tom Brady. We don't need to be Tom Brady. Yeah. Be the best Baker Mayfield they can possibly be. And what did he do? He came in here, he beat Kyle Trask, and he was the best Baker Mayfield they could possibly be. You have to be in a place where they show confidence in you, where they want you to be there, where the fan base wants you to be there, coaching, the front office, and where you have, it works also well when you have an offensive line that can protect you. Some guys can make it work. Well, you see Baker Mayfield out there making it work with just makeshift offensive line. Some guys can't. A lot of guys, if you were to put them right now on this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team with Mike Evans down, this makeshift offensive line, and Justin Macabuca as your wide receiver one, a lot of guys would not have success. But Baker Mayfield has found a way to make this team a 3-0 undefeated team heading into week 4. And, man, I think the Buccaneers, they made – Jason Light doesn't get enough credit throughout, his tenure here since 2014 in Tampa. But he is one of the better general managers, if not the best general manager. I know Howie Roseman is great also for the Philadelphia Eagles. But, man, he's good. And this team has guys who next man up mentality. Right. You go down, Luke goes down, whoever goes down, and the next guy's able to fill in, not as well, of course, but just enough to help the Buccaneers survive. And the rest of the pieces around them, they're going to go out and they're going to attack and they're going to find a way to fight for 60 minutes and go find a victory. Go find a way to get a victory.
I want to go to the comments here because shout out to our guy Poker Guts here. Colts Bucs Super Bowl. That's funny. I got an issue with the Colts. He says make it happen. And also, can KC miss the playoffs? Absolutely. I think we're all on board with that. I mean, I Daniel, real quick as we get off the topic here of the Buccaneers, and we'll get back to them. The Kansas City Chiefs, I've said this and I'll say it again. They remind me a lot of, when I say they remind me a lot of Tom Brady and the Patriots, it's because they do, because they're a dynasty. As much as people don't want to admit it, they're a dynasty. They're a fantastic football team. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, a great combination of quarterback and coach. Same thing with Belichick and Brady. No, I think it was more Tom Brady. We're seeing it. Belichick's not doing too hot. But no, they both contribute to those Super Bowls. But there was a time when the Patriots, they were red hot. They were winning Super Bowls, and then they took that massive decline. They were winning games. They would get into the championship game, but they weren't getting to Super Bowls. They weren't winning Super Bowls. I think that's where the Chiefs are at right now. they're taking a little bit of a decline. That division is very good. The Broncos, the Chargers, the Raiders are starting to become a better, even though they got the doors blown off of them today. But I mean, they're slowly creeping up. And the Chiefs, they're what, 0-2 right now, I believe.
They're
So
0-2 heading into week 3. Yeah.
yeah, so I think that's where the Chiefs are at right now. Speaking of that division here, the AFC, we had a AFC NFC matchup here with the Vikings and Bengals. Wow. I mean, I'm not surprised by the score, 48-10. But again, it is a team without Joe Burrow. But the game that really surprised me the most right now is Cleveland and the Green Bay Packers. So let's talk about that, because that has to do a lot with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with the Green Bay Packers, because that's a team that we could be seeing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
A week ago, everybody was saying that they're a Super Bowl bound team. People I feel like need to stop doing that, because it's very early on in the season. You take a look at this game between the Browns and the Green Bay Packers. I said it. The Browns, I actually picked the Browns to upset.
Okay.
I did on that parlay that I was going to put together, the one that I never put through.
Yeah.
But I will say this. The Browns have a really good defense, and with the Packers losing to the Browns 13-10, I want to hear people talk about how great the Packers are, that they're the best team in the NFC, because they just lost to the Browns. So real quickly, I want to bring in my guy here. He had I don't know if any you guys have had to see it. Love listening to it's almost like a battle cry. First thing in the morning. I was laying in bed, and I was on the X.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yes, I was on X, and poor Richie Lou, who I have with us, who's going to be joining us in a brief second. I know he's going to pump us up. He was like, "Get the fuck out of bed, motherfuckers!" And like, I woke up out because I was like, my eyes, I was just like, and then I just see, and I was like, "Gotta get out of bed, let's go, it's game day." Hold on, let me do a little bit of producing here real quick. Let's get that out of here, and let's have him join us. My guy.
There he is.
There he is. How's it going, man?
Forgive me, man. I'm on my way to the road, brother. To the store for the wife, man. But listen, man. 3-0, bitches. 3-0.
That's right. 3-0. How was it?
I mean, it shouldn't have taken the route that it did, but fuck it. A dub's a dubs. A dub's a dubs, man. And let me say one more thing. Forgive me for speaking French. Fuck the refs. Fuck the refs.
Early on there, yeah.
But for real, no, I just I mean, it was outstanding, man. I don't know how that kick got blocked, but it was amazing. Amazing game. Does anybody know what's going on with Mike?
No, I mean, yeah, it's a hamstring right now. We don't really know how long he's gonna be out. I mean, if anything, it's kind of looking like last year, man. He's probably gonna miss a couple of games. And I hope not, because we're already lacking at that position right now. I really hope not, man. I want to see Mike break the record. I really do. He deserves it. If anybody in the NFL deserves this record, it's Mike Evans. And again, we see this with Mike a few times, but he's got 1,000 yards. I just hope Mike's okay, and I hope to see him, because we're gonna need him against the Eagles. That's a for sure. Hey, Lou, some good news too out of the NFC South. The Carolina Panthers blew the doors off the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh wow,
30-0. Hey, benched Michael Penix too.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they benched Michael Penix.
Wow. Who's their backup? Is this not Cuz?
Kirk Cousins. He's still there. Kirk Cousins came in.
I thought they fixed that dude. No, there was too much money on the table, right?
Yeah, they could. Nobody's gonna pay up that contract. Nobody.
Oh, wow. So Cuz has he can resuscitate his career now, man. I mean, but obviously he didn't do shit.
Yeah. Listen, Today is a good day to be a Bucs fan, and I apologize to Buccaneer Nation because I premature tweeted the 29-20 victory. I said unless they block this field goal, the game's over 29-0. I mean 29-20. And then I was just telling Daniel in the audience, I'm washing the dishes, the popcorn bowl, getting ready to wrap everything up, and I hear the kick is blocked. I was like, you got to be kidding me, dude. And I'm not going to delete the tweet, and I just apologize for it. But again,
No, brother, we were all thinking that, man. I thought, I was getting everything, squared away. That the game was over. That was game.
Yeah,
that was game, brother.
Yeah, I seen the offense go back out in the field, and I'm like, what are we doing here? They're gonna try and draw him off sides. No, man, just kick the field goal. Be done with it. And then they tried to draw him off sides, and they couldn't. And they brought the kick team out, and then it got blocked. And it was just like, I don't want to see that stuff. Let's just seal the deal and get out of there, man. That's it. Yeah, I don't want to see this funny shit no more. Just seal the deal, get out of there, and that's that. But I mean, it's a great day in Tampa. It's a great day to be a Buccaneers fan, sitting at the top of that division, 3-0. As far as the NFC South goes, that like we were just talking about, Lou, the Falcons have lost 2 divisional games. They dropped 2 of them. So if anything was to happen towards the end of the season, that works in our favor. The Buccaneers look good. And I was telling Daniel and I was telling the audience that, again, another comeback from Baker Mayfield and this offense. This is the type of shit that Super Bowl teams are built for. This is you know what I'm saying? The comebacks like this. Like a lot of teams, field goal getting blocked, demoralized, momentum's gone. Not this kid, not Baker Mayfield, not that offense, not this team. Not this team.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing to see these games in the past. We would have lost them all. We would have lost them all, man.
Oh yeah.
But it just shows you that this team is just have resiliency, man. And we got what it takes, man, to go the whole distance. To go the whole distance, man. And being 3-0 puts us in a nice spot, man. It puts us in a nice spot, and everything's working out for us in the South. I mean, we knew the South was ours, man. I mean, with the talent on this squad, man, if we can get everybody healthy, bro, it's going to be a juggernaut.
Yeah, just saying that. The NFC is not ready for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if they're 100% healthy. And I said, I called it. I called my shot. I said this year's Super Bowl, if the Buccaneers can continue playing like this, I called it in the beginning, in the preseason. I think it's going to be the Buccaneers and Ravens. That's the Super Bowl that I got. I don't know what the winner of that game's going to be. We're not even close to being there yet. But that's what I'm predicting. Yeah, that's what I'm predicting. But this team, I'm telling you, Godwin's still not back. McMillan's still not back. And we were just talking about this kid, Abuka. I have no words. I have no words. The catches that he was making, he's a number 1 wide receiver. Easily. Yep. If anybody first watching this, if any fan out there was just becoming a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan today, if they were watching the Buccaneers for the very first time, you would think, hey, that's their number 1 wide receiver. This kid is he's good. That's their number 1. The catches he was making, I don't give a shit what anybody says. That catch, if Aaron Lazard's that catch was a touchdown, I don't know why Abuka's catch wasn't a catch. I don't understand that. I get it. I could see why they would think, but I mean, he had possession. He dragged. I don't know what a catch is anymore. I don't know what a fumble is anymore. I don't know what passing interference is anymore. It is what it is. But I'll
tell you what, the bookie called. That's why it's not a fucking catch.
Yeah, the bookie called. Yeah, good point. Good point. All right, man, I'm going to let you get out of here. We appreciate you. Anything you want to say, the floor is yours.
Listen, Dan, you're the man. We love you.
Dude, I love your work, man. You're the best Buccaneers I can there.
Dude, every Sunday when I'm on X, he pumps me up right off the rip.
Nobody's
week 1 in the
Louie,
Falcons. No. Week 1 against the Falcons, he was like, it's game day. And I'm in Orlando, and the wife, she was getting ready in the bathroom. We were getting ready to go to Disney, and she was like looking at me, smiling. And I was like, that's my boy, poor Richie Lou, man. He's getting us pumped up. Let's go. He's firing up the crew, man. He's firing up the crew.
That's what we do, brother. That's what we do. We try and get that done. We try to fire up the crew, the team, the coaches, whoever's listening.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And if the opposition's listening, bro, they know we're flying this fucker right here, man.
That's right.
The Jolly Roger. The Jolly Roger. Because we take no fucking prisoners, motherfuckers.
That's
We
right.
fucking take it to them. And the Seagulls are coming to town next week, and we got some for their tush push, motherfuckers.
That's right.
And we're fucking coming, baby. We're coming.
I
4-0. 4-0.
it.
Recognize it. Recognize it.
I'm ready to run through a wall because of this man. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's go. Bring on the Seagulls. I like that. Bring on the Seagulls. Let's
The Bucs
go.
need to bring him into the
That's
locker
it,
room
man.
before a game.
Hey,
Have
man,
him-
the
have
fucking
Louie
Beast
live.
Bombers, we'll send them back to fucking Philly and let them eat this cheesesteak. Them
That's right.
bastards.
Oh man, Lou, you're the
Boys.
best. You're the best, man. I appreciate you joining us here on the Frozen Pirate Podcast. On behalf of me and
I
Daniel,
apologize
thank you,
for
man.
the few, man, for being late, brother, and
Nah, you're
appreciate
good,
you
dude.
guys working with me, man. I'll come on
Absolutely.
again, I promise.
Absolutely. Well, we got a spot for you for every post game if you want to, man. Win,
do it.
loss, let's do it.
If I can do it, let's do it, brother.
All right, man. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Show,
you.
man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Frozen Pirate Podcast, motherfuckers. Listen,
go.
subscribe, hit the like button, you bastards. Let's go.
Let's
There
go.
you go.
I love him, man. You want to talk about getting people pumped up and like going like, oh my god, oh my god. A lot of people viewing the show right now. I appreciate that. I guess we could probably double those numbers if we wind up losing. That's because I'm not gonna lie. I like listening to people like really flip out. After I should actually turn on something with the Patriots because the Patriots, man, they lost against the Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. I know actually a couple of people who went to that game. Waste of money. That sucks. But yeah, man, I don't know what else to talk about. I mean, I think we pretty much covered everything. Go ahead.
Loose Cannons Izzy in the comments there. Love what you guys do over there on Loose Cannons.
Yeah.
Izzy said yeah. You want to put up this comment? Yeah.
Let's go, man. Shout out to the Loose Cannons, man. We got to collaborate with them guys. I again, we were talking about this too. How those guys are, how they break their version of the way they break down the game. And
love what they do. For years, I've loved what they do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They've been my go-to. Like I said, it sucks because a lot of the times I'm busy doing stuff. I can't join in, but I listen to them in the morning, man, and on the drive into work. I love those guys. I really do.
Thanks to the funniest man there is in the Tampa.
Oh God, yeah.
Before, man. It's
oh yeah,
so
like
funny,
when I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, and this is no bullshit. Like when I think of like Buccaneers talk, like the Loose Cannons comes up to like honestly like when YouTube really started coming out, and then like I remember their stuff like because again going back to growing up as a Buccaneers fan in Massachusetts as a little kid in '95. I mean, I'm not gonna get in trouble for this because I don't think anybody cares. But I used to rob the newspaper to get the statistics for the Buccaneers because I was in Massachusetts, man. And riding that wave of a lot of losing seasons, with the Buccaneers and watching the Patriots on their rise of glory. But then I remember the iPhone 3GS came out, and then the YouTube stuff really started getting popular. And then when I was doing some like stuff with the Buccaneers, I discovered, I think the Loose Cannons, I want to say in 2017, 2018. I don't know. I could be off with the dates, man. I'm getting old. I'm 37 years old now. I'm getting older now. I've taken quite a few shots to the head too. But I remember the first time I heard them and I loved them, and I was and right away subscribed, and I was just like, dude, these guys are the shit. I love these guys. Like the cussing, because I was used to listening to WDAE, and obviously you can't do any cussing on the air, but they would just like cussing and like they would just in your face about it, like in a positive way. And I loved it, and they didn't hold back. And shout out to them guys, and shout out to everybody in the community who supports the Buccaneers. You know what I'm saying? The outside media, they don't know this team like we all know this team. This is our team. This is our fucking team. Excuse me for cussing, but I'm pumped up. Loose Cannon Izzy. We appreciate that, Louie. Absolutely, man. On behalf of Daniel and myself, man, we appreciate you guys. But yeah, man, I'm excited. 3-0, man. 3-0. This is exciting. And we got the Eagles coming up. The Seagulls, not the Eagles. The Seagulls. We'll get into that later on this week. You're busy. You got to do your stuff. I got to get my stuff going with that. Wednesday night, the Frozen Pirate podcast is going to be going live. I don't think we need to break down this game anymore. I think honestly, Daniel, this game coming up against the Seagulls is going to be a big game. I think this could be a playoff matchup preview. I really do. I think this is going to be a big game to break down. And then later on in the show, I'll do a little bit of around the NFL. Let's see what the schedule's like for Jamie and Mr. Leo Haggerty. Hopefully Daniel will join us too. Because again, there's a lot to unpack with these two teams, with the Buccaneers and Eagles, man. Let everybody know where they can find you, man. Let everybody know what you got going on, because I know you had a long day.
Yeah, I'm losing my voice, man. But before we close that, I just want to say Chase is, besides the blocked kick, because that wasn't even on him. Will McDonald just made an incredible play there, jumping over the defenders, the protectors. But Chase McLaughlin is back, man. And I think everybody, I told you at the beginning of the week, I didn't feel, maybe I'm a loyal guy, but I didn't like the idea of the Buccaneers bringing in a tryout kicker.
Yeah, we agreed.
They decided not to go that way. And they remained loyal to Chase, and it paid off because he was able to save you in the final few seconds there. But Chase, I believe he had a very good game, a bounce back game. You love to see that. All the Buccaneers fans were happy with him now, so I think his job is pretty safe going here from here on out. Yeah. Riley Dixon, I've been a big fan of Riley Dixon, but his punts haven't been too well for the past a couple weeks now. I want to see Riley Dixon in week number 4 against the Eagles have a much better game, because punter is really important. We don't talk about the punter much, but that determines field position. How long you keep the ball in the air. Your coverage works alongside with that. Your gunners and all those kind of things. So Chase had a good game. Riley Dixon had a bad game. For example, for the most part, the return game with Sean Tucker and all that didn't really produce much. But overall, I'm just happy that Chase is fully back, and it seems like he's gotten out of the rut that he was in, and he's doing what he's normally meant to do. Be Chase Money McLaughlin out there. But thank you, Louie, for having me on the Frozen Pirate podcast here, the Postgame Show. Just love always making content with you. You know that, man. You guys can find me over on X and Instagram at DanielM_TB, and on Fear the Bay. That's where I post my videos every single week. So that's on YouTube, Fear the Bay, and then on X and Instagram, it's DanielM_TB. And make sure you guys like and subscribe and follow Louie here if you haven't done so already, man, because you do a lot of great content as well. And hit the notification button, hit the bell button, because sometimes we get emergency podcasts. Yeah. You have to do stuff on the fly because somebody signs a big contract or somebody's out on IR, for example. So if you hit the subscribe button, that's good. All right. But also hit that bell button, because you're notified anytime that Louie goes live, or anytime I go live with my channel or upload a video.
Absolutely, guys. Again, love each other, support each other. Like I said, this isn't a competition. We're just trying to bring out the best. We're trying to put out the best content as possible. Always appreciate Daniel joining us as a guest on the show. He has a lot of insight. Again, I can't emphasize that enough. Make sure you go follow Fear the Bay. A lot of good stuff. Make sure you follow the Frozen Pirate podcast. We do free jersey giveaways, and
shout out to Christopher Wallace, man.
Yeah, man. He's gonna be
too on Instagram and all that.
Yeah, man. He's gonna have a nice. He picked out a white Baker Mayfield jersey. Yeah. He's gonna have that coming his way pretty soon. Well deserved. Again, guys, make sure you guys are subscribed to both the Fear the Bay and the Frozen Pirate podcast. Make sure you guys hit the bell notifications as well, so you don't miss a thing. I think that's it, man. I don't got nothing else. I got a big smile on my face. I'm ready to go to work tomorrow with a smile.
Victory Monday, right?
Victory Monday. I get to take a day off, I guess, because we covered pretty much everything. I mean, I got a lot of work to do. I got a whole garage. I got to stop moving this operation down there, because obviously you guys are probably warm down there, not me. It's actually chilly up here right now.
Like we talked about, the heat index in Tampa is 130 on the football field. Yeah, it's not 130 up there in Massachusetts.
Nope. All right, guys. I mean, that's pretty much it, man. Happy victory. I was about to say Happy Victory Monday. Happy Victory Sunday night. Now we can just kick back, relax, and watch whatever game's coming up next. I'll probably wind up going to bed early. I don't know. I'm pumped, man. Listen, we got a show coming up this Wednesday.
I'll be on, Lou. I'll hop on. Yeah, if you.
All right.
Do that.
Perfect. Because 8 p.m. we got a lot to talk about, so you guys are not gonna want to miss that. Eagles, Buccaneers, Seagulls.
It's a measuring test again, like Adam Salon said on the Peter Game Day cast. This is a big measuring test. Can you go up against the reigning Super Bowl champions with all your injuries, with all the banged up offensive line that they have? Even if you get Tristan Wirfs back or not, this is still not your original offensive line unit. And can he go toe-to-toe with the reigning Super Bowl champions? We will see this week, man. But if they do, you're going to hear nonstop about Baker Mayfield officially in the MVP conversation. I'll tell you that.
I think he's already there, man.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think he's there. With all that being said, guys, thank you guys for joining us here. And every Sunday, you can catch me and Daniel if he has a chance to jump on the post game. It's good. It's a victory.